and do the Shaker Pocket tutorial. I am using Silhouette. I know a lot of you said that you use Cricut. I think the Cricut has the same functions as a Silhouette, so hopefully you guys can find this useful. So what I'm going to do is import my file or open my file. I am going to use this specific one. However, if you have a file that you found on Google or anything, sometimes I like to Google what I need plus SVG. So I would say bat SVG and it would come up with a bunch of bats. You can use that as well. Just import it like you normally would. I'm actually going to, I did this video once before and it didn't work. So we're going to try this again. So I'm going to cut out this bat. I don't need all this other stuff. This is the file that my designer made for me for my Pastel Halloween series. Stop it, Frankie. And then, as always, there's a cat here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trace out my bat. So go to your trace feature. I'm not sure how it is on Cricut, but on Silhouette, you just click the little butterfly and then click select trace area. And I'm just going to select this. And I'm just going to make sure that it's all nice and smooth on the edges. And I'm going to trace outer edge. So now we have a bat. And I don't need any of this, so I'm just going to cut it out. So here is our bat. The bats that I'm actually making these for a project for someone who asked me to, she commissioned me to do some shakers. So I'm going to make 7 of them. Actually, there's a little piece from what was next to it, so I'm just going to cut this out. So like the one that I made, Yamil, I think that's how you say her name, it went over 3 pockets. So 3 pockets is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just going to resize this. I'm going to do a little bit smaller, so let's do 7.9. Oh, I keep doing that. Make sure it's locked so the ratio is the same, 7.9. That's not right. Not 9.9, 7.9. Okay, so here is our base. This is going to be the one bottom layer. Each shaker has 5 layers. So this is going to be the one bottom layer. And you would cut this out of cardstock. I am doing black cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 7 of these. And then for my 2 foam layers, I'm going to go over here and do an offset. I'm going to do an internal offset. And I want to change the size just a little bit to that. And this is going to be our foam. We're going to cut out both of these so that our foam is just this. And then the middle will be clear. So we're going to cut 2 of these. So 1, the bottom, 2 of this, the foam. And then when I'm cutting that, I'm going to remove the middle. And I'm going to cut this in acetate. Acetate is the clear, like thicker plastic. We're going to cut that. And then for the top, whoops, for the top, I'm going to do another one of these, but in black cardstock. So we're going to have the bottom, which is just the outer cutting, 2 foam, which is this around, 1 acetate, which is the outer only, and then 1 front or top, which is this. So I'm going to go cut all of those out. I'm assuming I don't need to show you guys how to cut. If you have a machine, you know how to cut, but you just go to click send, choose what kind it is, and then send. Since I have a bunch of different layers, I'm going to do that all off screen, and then I'll come back and show you how I assemble them. Okay, so now we have our bottom piece, our foam piece, Sadie, our acetate sheets piece, and then the outside piece. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take the bottom. Oh, Sadie. It never fails, guys. And I'm going to make sure that this is the correct side. And then when I cut it, it kind of like gets stretched out, which isn't really that big of a deal because it's going to, when you glue it down, it's going to form its shape. But I tried the deep cut blade today and I didn't like it at all. It kind of made everything wonky, but all right. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue. I'm using the Bearly Art glue, and this foam kind of like sucks up the glue, so just be careful. You can do this last step, or you can do this step last if you want. However, I find it easier to do it and put the sequins inside first. All right, so I'm going to set this down on top. I'm just going to make sure that everything lines up properly. With glue, you can kind of move it around a little bit to fit what you need. Oops. This cat. Okay. So there we go. I got some glue on my thing. Just wipe it off. And the glue will dry clear, so no big deal there. This one needs to move a little bit. Just making sure everything lines up properly. It's best to do if you turn it around. Sadie's trying to get on my shoulder. Okay, so one is down. Now we're gonna do the second one. We do two so that it gives the sequins room to shake around. So just be generous with the glue. Again, it's gonna dry clear as long as you use one that dries clear. So I'm gonna put this one down. As you can see, my foam is a little wonky because of my deep blade. I'm very disappointed in it. It was the first time using it. Not a fan. But it's gonna be covered up, so no big deal. I hope you guys were in frame. So there is your base. I'm gonna put this under something hard so that it dries hard and flat. So let me do that. Okay, while that is drying, I'm going to take my acetate piece. You can't really see that. And then I'm going to take the top piece. Just make sure everything lines up. And then I'm just going to glue it again. Now, if you don't have foam, I use craft foam from Hobby Lobby. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. I ran out of black, so I need to go get more. And again, we're just going to put this down. Make sure everything lines up nicely. And with the glue, it does dry clear, so, or you can like put glitter glue around the edges to hide it. I don't have any glitter glue. So there's our top piece. I'm gonna let that dry. Let me show you what the foam looks like. So I got this in the kids section at Hobby Lobby. It's called Silly Winks, and it's 99 cents for a 12 by 18 piece, and that's what I use to cut. Next, we are going to put our sequins in. Mine is still drying, and it's a little off. It's kind of hard to do it like perfectly and film at the same time because my camera's right here, but I'm not doing this for anything specific, so I'm not too worried about it. If somebody wants this shaker, just the shaker, I can send it to someone. Just leave a comment below. I guess the first person who says something can get it, preferably in the United States, because shipping internationally is insane. So I'm just going to cut off the pieces that are kind of wonky real quick. Okay, so I have all my sequins here. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not doing this for anything specific, so I'm just gonna pick random colors, and then what you're gonna do is just put sequins in the little hole. So let's do some pink. And I'm just gonna do ones that I have like a lot of color or a lot for, so I'm not wasting sequins. These are kind of big. So there's that. Let's do some gold. I have a lot of these. Make sure they're all inside the foam pieces, not like on top of the foam, because you're going to glue it down. Let's do some of these. You can put as little or as much as you want. Just don't overcrowd it because you still want it to be able to shake. Of this blue. Let's use this blue. Yikes. Make sure they're all sitting flat as well. Okay, there's some blue. Do a little bit of purple. All right, and I think that's good. Well, let's put a little brown. Why not? Random colors for Halloween, but whatever. Like I said, if anybody wants this, just leave a comment. Preferably in the United States, and I'll send it to you. All right, so now that we have our sequins in, you don't want to overflow it. Everything still needs to be like under the foam, because if you overflow it, it's not going to shake. So now we're going to take our acetate and top piece, and I'm just going to put our glue on. I was just using this. Come on. So we're just going to be generous with the glue again. Make sure you don't get any of the sequins. And make sure that you glue, don't leave any gaps because you don't want the sequins to fall out. Okay, that is done. Then we're just going to put this on top. Oops, I might have put too much glue. Oopsie. So what I'm not gonna do is shake it, because I don't want the sequins to be stuck to the glue because I put too much glue. So I'm gonna wait till it dries until I shake it. So I'm going to put this again under something hard, but there we have it. Maybe I will shake it a little bit. We have our shaker that is in the shape of a bat. There you go.